Are you ready, Christy?
Yep, go ahead.
Here we go.
This meeting is being recorded. Okay, got it.
Okay, do you want me to start, Christy?
Yes, go ahead. We're going to be talking about some respiratory care and respiratory health and support and all that kind of good stuff. So I think it's been a hot topic, especially the last 2 years, with trying to clear the lungs, which I think we have a lot of great products that can help support that. So
yeah, this is fun. So we're going to take a little tweak on it and learn some things maybe you haven't heard and some that you have, and then give everyone a chance to kind of also give us input. Oh, and if we're talking, if you could unmute, yeah, or mute, I guess. Okay, so, and then if you guys like this content, we can post this, this recording too, so. All right, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the respiratory system. It's kind of interesting to remember that the respiratory system has a lot of parts and organs involved in it. So network of organs: nose, mouth, throat, voice box, windpipe, airways, lungs, blood vessels. And its job is to move oxygen and then which helps remove waste. So when we're not breathing deeply and we don't have a strong respiratory system, we're not moving that waste out of our body, and the levels of toxicity in our bloodstream and other things start to kind of weigh on you. So it also, even the lower muscles of your lungs are part of your respiratory system. So to start off, if you have a calming or balancing oil to just kind of get into a space right now, I'm going to use Valor. But you can use Stress Away, you can Lavender, whatever you like. And let's just put a little Valor. Now, if you're new to the oils, you could just smell it, or some oil that helps you to feel calm. And that's enough, right? To your nose. Just breathe it in. Or you can just take a drop in your hand and kind of spread it around, and then cup your nose behind your neck. I like to use my hair as a diffuser. I stole this from General Sullivan, and she oils her hair every day. I think that's hysterical, and I love it. So, especially with Valor. So now, if you're dealing with oh, what do you got?
Northern Lights Black Spruce.
Ooh, that's
Jimmy.
That's the best.
I love that one.
I love it.
Mix it with vanilla. Vanilla.
What a great recipe. And then how do you use it, Christy?
I like to diffuse this vanilla and lavender in a diffuser at the end of the day, like when we're cooking or something like that, because it's right there where we all are. And it's just sort of like a rest and recover a little bit. Like it just reminds me to calm down and, breathe in. It
should, because the spruce should be grounding. The vanilla should be relaxing. And what else? Lavender? Balancing. Lavender. Yeah. Look at that. You figured that out. That's, wow. I want to try that.
That's a Jason recipe. That's a Jason recipe right there. He was playing with my oils and he's like, I'm just going to throw these in. I was like, oh my gosh, you created something amazing. It smells.
Did you do like 2 drops of each, or what did you do?
I think I pretty much do like 5 drops of each.
Oh, I'm happy for that.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Okay. So I love sharing about the neuroendocrine centers, and we're going to be doing a whole course on this coming up. I think the first one's going to be the Root Neuroendocrine Center, but this happens to be the area of one of the neuroendocrine centers of your body, which is right at your chest, right at your heart, right? So that pressure point right at your heart has an ability to support you in feeling balanced in a specific way. So your respiratory system can be affected by this pressure point or this center. So if you reach to the center of your chest, I think we've done this once before, and you feel for kind of like a sore spot in there. Sorry, Tasmanians, I'm gonna squirt them. Stop it. Once you find it, I squirt them with thieves from across the room. I have like a pretty good sized sprayer, and it's, yeah, and they learn, right? Okay, so when you find that spot, that pressure point is actually called, it's on a midline called conception vessel. And it's CV, conception vessel 17, and it means sea of tranquility. And when you hold this spot, if you were ever under stress or you feel like you can't breathe, whether it's like anxiety type feeling or just stress, or maybe you're in a smoky room or you know, there's a fire nearby, that kind of thing. For whatever reason, if you can hold this center, it'll just help to start opening up what the heart, the center of your body. And what this heart area does for you when it's in balance is it combines your mental ability with your spiritual side of yourself. And it's the center point of your entire body is your heart. So it kind of plays a big role in your emotions and also in your sense of calm and your ability to not overthink and be out of balance with your mind. And so we always like to add a few things in with our education. So one of the things Christy and I were talking about at our Aroma Yoga class is using this exercise called a ha breath. So in order to help balance your center, right? So just a couple things on the neuroendocrine center of your heart. You can put your hand just below your chest and just feel that area right there, which is kind of like lower, like upper stomach area. And everyone, if you could do this and just go, ha! Ha! Yes! That's called a ha breath, right? And so you're like, I like to imagine that whatever's out of balance in my heart, in my feelings, in my emotions, in my spiritual well-being, in terms of my connection to God, I like to just clear with the ha breath. So one of the things that actually balances this area is laughter. So I like to push out that negativity of overthinking, not being connected spiritually, and come into balance with those two things, ha, and set an intention, right? So that's just an exercise you can do. So you can hold CV17. Oh, my dogs are like, here's my ha breath. All right. And then CV17 and the ha breath. And the way, what you can do is you could visualize. So let's get out some frankincense if you have it. By the way, frankincense has a respiratory property. What's nice about both frankincense and lavender is they do everything. So lucky for me, I mean, I did grab 50 oils for my trip, okay? 50, not 5, not 10. But I seriously don't have Breathe Again or RC with me, but I do have frankincense and lavender. Ooh, there's RC and Breathe Again, okay? And so let's take some frankincense and we'll do a little visualization, and then maybe we can have someone else have a little share or an input. Let's just take this in. If you're comfortable placing it right on the center of your heart, and then just close your eyes. I like to have my hand up for opening, bringing in whatever spiritual balance I can connect to, and hold the center of my heart. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. And when you get to that spot that is time for the breath to come out, find the still point right before you release that breath. So breathe in, there's a still point, and then breathe out. So I like to do in through my nose and then out through my mouth. While you're holding this point, imagine it going deep, deep, deep into the very center of your heart, and look for a little white little light, or imagine one, or some kind of deep space deep inside your heart. Go in there and then imagine that light just opening up, and anything that we don't need in our heart space, that, you know, traumas from the past or dark words that came to us or whatever energetically is stored here, in our heart space, we're just going to open up this light of healing. And it's just really powerful, because what you're going to find after this little exercise is that when you set an intention, it allows the clearing, and you're using the oil, and it kind of helps you go deep. And so this is just a quick little thing you could do, right? So does anybody have any input about that, or how they're feeling? Like right now, I have a whole shift happening. I can't even believe it. Like I think I've been a lot in my head lately with what's been going on in my life. Anyone?
I'm fine.
How are you feeling after that little visualization?
Very relaxed.
Yeah. So
That was-
go ahead.
That was beautiful. And I didn't have frankincense, but I had Gary's light, and I could feel that light. And I put it on my heart, and it was very relaxing, very, very peaceful, very calming, and also stimulating.
Yeah, I feel like a balancing happening, like exactly what we were saying, the balance between the spiritual and the mental coming in at the center, at the heart. So that's just fun. So understand, when people are having trouble breathing, they can have other things going on that are affecting that field at the heart level. So it's just something to consider. Breath is related to, in Chinese medicine, it's related to control lungs, right? In some of, like, I want to have control over whether or not I, get this land in Arizona or not. I want to have control over when I can see someone. I want to have control over lots of when I can see my grandson, and those kinds of things. And actually, I have no control of any of that, right? And it affects my lungs, because lungs is where you hold control, right? So it's interesting to think about what you may have going on in your life that have to do with any kind of stress levels too, like opening up the breath. I mean, Kathleen Bailey did a whole amazing breath class at Healing Arts Institute. And that, it's so powerful to breathe around what you have going on in your life and anything that's out of balance. So this is just a little exercise. Does anyone else want to share anything here before we go to the more? Okay, Patricia.
Unmute.
Muted.
There you go.
Okay, jumpy. Come on, jumpy. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. I didn't have any frankincense. My oils aren't down here. I didn't know I needed them. But
Sorry.
I did the exercise. That's okay. I'm new to this. But I did the exercise that you said to do. And oftentimes I have a form of asthma called EIA, exertion-induced asthma. And so oftentimes I don't realize when I'm stressed and I'm moving through everything and that I'm not breathing deeply. And with that exercise that you just did, I realized that I wasn't breathing deeply until after I did it. Then I was able to breathe better because I was breathing deeper. And that clears out all the phlegm and everything, I believe.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that share. You can always hold that point. It's calming. Anytime you're with someone that is having a moment of stress, you can teach them that point and share that, because it really does work. It's amazing. Okay, let's move on to another slide unless anybody has any other inputs.
Tina,
Let's talk. Yes.
are you going to be talking for a while about the lungs? I can, if you want to move on. I just have
No,
something else
go
I want to
ahead.
share, but doesn't have to
Sure.
be now.
It can be. Go ahead.
Well, I knew when you were going to be talking to what the topic was earlier, so I knew I wanted to share this, because to me, this was just what I thought was the coolest thing when I learned it. Who knows how many years ago from probably Gary, I'm not sure, at convention, who knows, but about how the most direct route to the lungs is actually through the rectum. And, I know that's a pretty wild concept, right? But,
Why did I know you were going to say that, Laura?
because I seriously love that
It is.
concept that we don't even have to go to our clinic in Ecuador to get, we're being recorded. We don't even have to have what is the compliant term, Tina? A transfusion? No. An IV? What's the
You can
compliant
have an
term?
IV outside the country. There's no problem with that.
Okay. We don't even have to go to our clinic in Ecuador to have an IV, because what is it, Tina? It's the equal, and KB and Mama K, it's the equivalent, if not better, when it's through the rectum, or same concept as an IV. Anyway, so, you know, when you're dealing with something really serious, and I've been there. I mean, you know, it took me what, a couple years to find, you know, an answer for like every single thing that I was dealing with on a regular basis through, you know, Young Living and our oils and supplements. And then, yeah, to this day, you know, we look for answers first, always with our oils and our supplements first. That was one of them that, you know, if there was something really serious going on with the lungs, let's say through the past 2 years.
It's perfect
You know?
timing, Laura, because I have the slide of how do we use them?
Okay.
You know, what have others used and how? So you
I'm sure that's one of your slides. I'm sure that's one of your slides. Not.
No, it's the one that's up. It's the one that's up right now.
3 seconds for the oils to get to the lungs through from the rectum. 3
There we
seconds.
go.
Yes. So
It's
let's
in-
clarify
that's
that
in
a
the-
little bit. So the way that happens is that you have usually like a capsule or what they call a rectal implant. And yeah, so you put it in a capsule. And then of course we have some reference materials. If you can, you know, I know that we've taken eucalyptus and then we do different, maybe some carrier with it, and then use it that way. And there are people who have in fact, my mom has a client right now that's doing that. I think it's eucalyptus blue. Is that not right, Mom?
No, that's right. And it gets right in the bloodstream when it goes that way, and it goes
Yep.
directly to your lungs.
Yep.
Yeah, because she
Amazing.
shared that, your client shared that at one of our classes that she was doing that. And I said, oh, let me guess, did my mom tell you to do that? And
Or
so
Laura.
she's like, it's really working. Do you know
Or
what she
Jimmy.
was? Now, we are not saying to do these things instead of seeing your doctor. We definitely are saying that it can be supportive to your immune system, into your lung and respiratory system. It can be helpful. So one of the things I thought I would share, I forget that sometimes if you haven't been to a healing arts class, or you haven't had a grandparent that did compresses, you might not know how to do a compress. So I can't see myself on the screen right now. So you guys, I'm just like looking at, I can see Laura. Can you guys see this whole towel or not, or what?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Some of it.
for those of you who have never done a compress, you can take a towel and just like tri-fold it, right? And roll it up, and then use really, really, really hot water. Get it really hot as you can stand it, squeeze it out, right? And then you have a dry towel, and you lay that on, say, the chest area or the back. On the back too, by the way, you can access the lungs a lot of different places. The front of the chest and the back too.
Right.
Bottoms of the feet, of course.
And the
there's-
back to coat both sides of the lungs.
Mhm.
Yes, right. And then you take the hot towel and you roll it out, and then you like wrap the dry towel so that it's not just direct water, but that the moisture will come through, the heat will come through. So the only thing I would share about this is when you're doing this, you always have a carrier oil around in case something when the water touches the essential oils, they ignite and get hotter. So if someone is sensitive to them, maybe they're on a lot of medications, maybe they are dehydrated, maybe they're going through something, for whatever reason, you can always like pull this off, put a little coconut oil and put it back on, right? And if you don't know, you can always start off with a carrier oil. So let's say you take some eucalyptus, you rub it on your chest, you kind of let it set in, maybe a little coconut oil over the top of that, then you would lay the compress on, if that makes sense. Whichever oil you're liking. So thank you, Laura and Mom and Kathleen Bailey and everybody.
I just
Okay.
wanted to add to that beautiful idea. I've had to do that in a hotel room. When you're like, oh, I don't have anything with me, but actually, you know, you have a few oils, but then you can do that compress thing, you know, in the hotel. You just grab all those extra towels. And so I've done that multiple times on different family members. So
Yeah, that's so cool.
Awesome.
I love that.
Mhm.
So the compress. Okay. So you can practice that breathing exercise too. You can take that oil and then you wait for that still point, you breathe out, and then you wait for the still point, you breathe in, and just keep, doing that and taking that in. That's another way. Remember that not all oils are created equally. So we're not recommending you do these things with any other oils besides Young Living. And I would still opt to even having a carrier oil for that. So some of the oils I thought we would go over, Christy has Breathe Again. Can you show that one, Christy? Look at that collection, Sienna. Okay. And the Breathe Again is, I don't have it with me, but it's a 10 milliliter roll-on, but it also can come in a small bottle, which I think is what Christy has. Do you know that Laurus Nobulus is in that blend? And do you guys know what that is? Does anybody know what that is?
Have it, but I don't really know what it is.
Bay leaf.
It's bay leaf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have the Vitality, yeah.
Hi, Sandy. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. And I'd love, if you have any input, please share. Okay, so I was just going to remind everybody that it's bay leaf and it's very supportive to the immune system. So I can see why he would pick that, Gary, being he. It has Eucalyptus radiata. It has Eucalyptus globulus. It has blue cypress. It has myrtle. By the way, Christy, I was trying to remember the name of an oil that is supportive to your glandular system, and that's myrtle. Okay, your thyroid. And I couldn't think of it. It's myrtle. So myrtle's in there. Does anybody know why myrtle would be in Breathe Again?
Is it kind of close to eucalyptus or something? Isn't it kind of in that family? And yeah, I use myrtle when I don't know where I put my Endoflex on thyroid.
Yes, good. It's a natural expectorant and decongestant. So it supports that in your body. Copaiba, does everybody know what Copaiba does? It just helps with the flare-ups in your body. It kind of calms everything down. Eucalyptus, and there's always a lot of like these tree oils and cypress and these kinds of types of oils and oils that are good for the respiratory system, because think about trees. They're rooted in the ground, they help you feel grounded, and they absolutely are helpful with breath. So like always, those are great oils for grounding and breath. We talked a little bit about the spiritual side of the heart center, so there's that whole connection. So I love that these oils do that. Does anybody have anything they want to share about Breathe Again that they like? We like that it's in that roll-on. I think it's very user-friendly. It is pre-diluted, right?
I have to say, I like both for different reasons. I have the roll-on and I have this, and I feel like the roll-on's just easy to grab and like throw on to me or the kids or Jason or whatever. But I also like this for like diffusing or the aromadome or something where the more diluted is not something I want at the time, I guess. So I don't know. I kind of intuitively pick either one, but I like having both on hand. Just
I like that you said to be intuitive, because honestly, if you just ask yourself, what oil, you probably know what oil to use, and if you don't have the oil that you think you would like to use another oil, and you might be surprised and you get a great result, because many of them have multiple properties. So I was going to surprise you guys and talk a little bit about the Little Oiler series. This set is so fabulous, and also the taller roll-on set. It's really my favorite. And there's an oil blend in here missing, actually, out of my box again. But we have a lot of little oilers in my life. So when I open this box, I'm like, oh, right, okay. Anyway, so Sniffles, I want to tell you what's in Sniffles, or share with you what's in Sniffles, because these oils are not just for kids, you guys. What's nice is they're very user-friendly, because some of the eucalyptus oils can be strong for some people. And yet the Little Oiler series for children is not so basically it's strong enough for us too. And so it's just so user friendly. So let me tell you what's in that. It's kind of similar. Eucalyptus blue, but it also has Palo Santo. Deeply grounding, deeply spiritual oil, okay? Dorado Azul. Dorado Azul is a fabulous, so there's like these Amazon oils that are in snifflies. So Amazon oils are really, really special because when we check the chemistry of our Amazon oils around our farm in Ecuador, they have properties that have never been seen in one plant together. So you're just getting a lot of extra great amazement. Marjoram is great for muscles and tightness with your chest. Pine oil, you're going to get grounded, you're going to breathe. Lavender, balancing, okay? Also, do we know why lavender would be good for respiratory care? Anybody?
Is it anti-inflammatory?
It helps that type of system, yeah.
For
Natural
for
histamine.
relaxing.
It's a
What was
natural
that?
histamine. It's a natural histamine.
It helps seasonal irritants, Mom.
Yeah.
I know that when I
Sorry
use
about
it,
that.
I know that when I use it, my sinuses all open up. and I
There
can
you
breathe
go,
again.
Patricia. Right.
That's
And
right.
it starts clearing up any infection that I have in my sinuses on both sides, which is
Right.
unusual because one side I can usually get one side cleared up, but not the other.
Because it's balancing at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and seasonal irritants. Again, myrtle, eucalyptus radiata, black spruce, peppermint. This is all
Oh.
in Kid Scent Snifflies. Isn't that amazing? What a powerful oil. And it's funny because I think I remember now why I'm missing a bottle. So I went to get my fabulous lashes done before I left. And my lady goes, I think I just need some of that. What's this oil? I'm all snifflies. Do you have any snifflies? She's like, I really like this in my diffuser next to me. I'm like, I know, there's just nothing like it. So, okay.
It's the blend Kylie grabs all the time.
See, so powerful.
Please, she grabs the one that's already a little bit more diluted in the roller.
Yes.
And she swears by it. She's like, where do I put it? I'm like, up your nose. She's like,
I was just going to ask you, where does she put it?
and she
Yeah.
says, Mom, I can breathe. I can breathe. Like after 10 minutes, she's like, I can breathe. And so that's the one she always grabs whenever she has a sick, because she hates being sick. She hates having the sniffles. So she's always like,
I hate that too. Oh, check out Bruno. Is he getting an oil massage?
Always.
Okay. So I wanted to surprise you guys and talk a little bit about hyssop. So hyssops are one of our amazing biblical oils, and it actually it has properties that are very protective against things that come against you with your health. Let's put it that way. It's very protective. Parasites don't like it. It helps to decongest the lungs. It's actually extremely powerful essential oil for that, but it's a very strong oil. But I just wanted you to know, if you have the biblical set and you have hyssop, it's very powerful for the respiratory. Okay. Okay, so let's see what else. All right. Okay. So one of the things, I don't know if, Mom, I know you and Laura were with me on that trip to Utah, kind of for the relaunch for 2022. Here's Snifflies. I think I had these out of order. Yeah. And so I didn't add this to the slideshow, but I got this in the mail today from my Young Living order, and it's Luscious Lemon. Can you guys see that?
Hold it in front of you.
hold it in
Yeah,
front of
yeah,
me.
there you go.
Because I can't see myself, so I don't know what
Okay.
what you guys are seeing.
I have that one.
You guys, so I ran into the scientist at Young Living named H.K. Lin, and he did some fabulous research at Oklahoma State University in regards to cancer. I want to say this was back in 2010, 2011, like in that
Mhm.
era.
Bladder
And,
cancer.
Yes, he did some research around that. And so it was fabulous research. It made us all very excited about frankincense in general. And he said, we got into a conversation. He was actually teasing us about what was coming from Young Living. And I was, we were asking him questions. He, he's very personable, super nice guy. And so he goes, he said, you do know what oil to use during these times, don't you? And I'm like,
wait, I was the one.
Yeah, it was you.
Go on, honey.
can't
It's our story.
Yeah, I was there, Laura, so I get to tell it. So you can tell it. Do you want to tell it?
No, you're doing great.
Okay, so you do know the oil, and he said lemon, right? And I realized like this blend came out, right around those times. And what does it have in it? Lemon, it has eucalyptus, it has ylang ylang. And I'm like, I have this diffusing in my office in Auburn that's now moved to Roseville, by the way, for those of you who don't know, at the studio at Sierra Gardens, which would be my mom's house.
La Casa de Mama K.
Casa de Mama K.
Yeah,
studio at the
at
Gardens,
Mama
Sierra
K's
Gardens.
house.
Okay. And so, thank you, Mom, by the way. So I diffuse this all the time. And back when we were taking clients back in face to face, this is just the one that I just love to diffuse. I feel like it just smells good and it's cleaning everything all the time. And so I have to say, like a couple of times I was contacted towards the end of the week, like, hey, by the way, I'm so sorry, but I exposed you. And I have been diffusing this and I have never caught anything from anyone. I mean, I've just had a lot of protection. And so at least to my knowledge, but I just think it's a really powerful, healthy oil to be diffusing in your house, and it's affordable, and it's got all these wonderful things in it. So
yeah.
And
H. Kaylin had said to use it in every possible way. That is the oil for the past 2 years. If you guys know, what we mean. So yeah, topically, diffusing in your water. What else? All the different ways.
where the sun doesn't shine.
Where the sun doesn't shine in a vegetable capsule.
That's good to know. I've been diffusing it a lot. I love it. It's great for springtime and
Totally.
Yeah.
Focus, uplifting.
yeah, no, it feels real clean. It smells real clean and it's uplifting. And right now I'm diffusing thieves everywhere because my husband did get a positive test.
Yeah.
I'm negative.
Yay.
I'm planning to stay that way.
I
So
love
every room, diffusers are running in every room right now.
Good job.
But I'll flip flop with that one, knowing that now. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Let
put
us
the
know
one
how
in-
it's going.
In my thieves cleaner. I like
Well,
it.
that's a great idea, right? On the surfaces. That's
Yeah,
such a good
nice.
idea.
Oh, put it
Yeah.
in your cleaner? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah,
Put it
at the
in my
spring
container.
fling at my house, we did a lot of fun things with this oil.
Mm.
What did
Adding
you
it
do?
to
Yeah,
the
I'm really enjoying it.
the foaming hand soap and the thieves household cleaner and hand rubs and scrubs. So
Mhm.
lots of fun things you can do with it.
I got to
And
know
that's
that oil
one-
very well that day.
That's one of
Yeah.
the questions I have. When you do something like that, how many drops do you put in? Like to the squirt bottle?
The whole
Oh, you
thing.
just kind of add it? Okay.
Intuition.
Yes, intuition.
Till it smells good to
Do
you.
you want to hear what I
Ask.
heard Gary say? Because
Ask.
everybody wants to know the numbers of drops. You guys want to hear this? This is crazy. So he basically, people are, how many drops, Gary? How many drops? And so he's like, well, he goes, if you don't know how many drops, he goes, you just close your eyes and you let your eyes roll up to the center and the number will appear. So I actually tell people
God.
that. So it helps them to like realize they probably know, but they always be on the side of like a little less than you think, because you can always add more. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and if you're using them like in a capsule, or if you're taking them internally, or, you know, definitely follow the guidelines. We have these white labels for internal oils, so you can find those. And the difference between this peppermint and another peppermint is actually nothing if it's Young Living, but you know for sure that the white labels are approved for internal use. So that's,
Well, I feel
that's
like
a vitality.
when I first started using oils, I feel like I was just using like a drop or two, or I would just like put my finger on the tip and like just like do that.
Yeah.
And once, you know, being around you, I was like, oh, I can use more, because you were like, don't. But then I started doing that and I was like, oh my gosh, there is a, you know, there's a difference. I feel like it intensified when I use a little bit more, 5-10 drops instead of one or half of one. I was like, okay, well, because I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go through it so quickly, but it's definitely worth using more, especially in the aroma yoga class. Melissa's like dumping, and I was like, well, that's kind of a lot. That's like a little puddle. But I felt great for 5 days. So I'm gonna use more of the oils.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that brings up a question. I'm used to, Christy, so funny. I'm used to putting it on the tip of my nose and just, you know, all over the tip of my nose and breathing it in. So
That's a
then I
great
was
idea.
told by a friend back here, and Christy's guided me back in here. And then the other place is the temples and the forehead. Now, if I'm trying to decongest my lungs and heal them, what is the difference between putting it here and breathing it in and actually putting it on your lungs with a carrier oil?
That's a super great question.
Right.
I love that question because it's important. Just like, okay, so if you are taking the oils in through your nose, right, so close to your nose, of course you're taking that right into your sinuses and everything, right? If you're diffusing it, it's going to go in through your nose. And even if it's on your chest, you're going to breathe it in through your nose. But the molecules of our oils, because they're not damaged in how they're taken from the plant, is an atomic mass unit of under 400, which is smaller than a virus or a bacteria. Like, it's the tiniest. We can't even process how tiny this is. So actually, when we put it on our chest, it goes into the chest tissue, literally. Yeah.
So the breathing in would be more for the sinus area and maybe the throat a little bit, but
Yeah.
putting it on the chest actually works it into the chest. She's been trying to teach me, and I'm trying to learn to have that instinct of where to put these oils on which centers that you're treating.
Yeah, but you actually, so I have a reflexology slide up. It's not the best. I like the baby one because it's real simple. And it's the same for us. If you just think of these little areas, like the baby one is really easy to see.
Hey, Tina, you're not sharing anything. Oh, there you go. Woohoo.
What happened? This whole time you haven't been seeing the slides?
No.
I'll go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's okay.
We just got it.
Well, that's great, because I haven't seen myself the whole time, because I thought you guys were looking at the slides.
I got it.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Christy. Go ahead and go to the reflex points of the baby. Sorry, you guys, we're trying to make it more interesting here. So the baby picture is all pretty much you need to know, right? You don't have to know all this little detail, but you can go online, get a VitaFlex or a reflexology chart, and have a nice printout and have it someplace, maybe laminate it. But just as a quick reference point, this is the baby one's great, right? So the chest is across like the ball of your foot, basically. And so that's another way to access the respiratory system. So in answering Patricia's question, I would probably seriously, if I'm not breathing well, this is what it looks like. You know, here, I'm going to put some of this on right now. So it goes, you know, I got, you know, luscious lemon. I might take a little pine with it, you know, or whatever oil I've got, maybe a little Frankie. I'm going to breathe it in really tight. Every molecule right up. Because remember too, when you're taking these molecules into the glandular systems of the brain and the glandular systems modulate repair in your body. There's been people who just by inhaling oils trigger responses through the body So Patricia's not wrong because she's got it right here. She's breathing it in, right? But if you cup really tight and just imagine all those little molecules going in, you're going to get a little bit more than just like maybe on your nose. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also, I'm used to using them. She's a little new with our oils. So it's good that she's taking it easy. But then I'm going to go, you know, and I'm going to ask the person in my life to maybe put some on my spine. You know, I'm going to have them on my feet. I'm going to, you know, but on a plane, on a train, and a quick, yeah, chest, face, right here. You know, I like the neck too. Mom, you told me something one time about RC. Do you remember what you did with RC that was kind of extra?
I swallowed some,
Yeah.
and it was like immediate. I thought it was
Or
sea
you put it
spray.
topically on your tongue.
Well, it was an accident. I was going for thieves,
Oh, okay.
and I put it. Yeah, I've learned a lot about it because did
I
you
think
know
you told
that?
me that, and I did that, and it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you could use RC instead of Aromacease in a massage, and that's really amazing.
Oh, that's a great idea. That you were also the first person that used thieves on me, like diluted with my neck and my chest, because it's a hot oil, right? So
Well,
the
yeah,
thieves
but if you're
is
doing
clove, eucalyptus.
massage
Yeah.
and you put it with a carrier oil on the
Yeah.
back, if you're sick, it's amazing.
Yes, I don't have that on my slides today, but I have to say that like thieves on your spine with a little peppermint,
It's warming.
it's incredible for achiness. If you
Mhm.
feel the kind of bug that feels achy and you're under the care of a medical professional and you're just supporting your body, the thieves and the peppermint together on the spine and with a little carrier is amazing. But just keep in mind that that's a very hot oil. Most people at least dilute it by 50%. I'm used to it, but it's still even hot for me. But it really works. I can get comfortable and get to sleep. So I don't know if that's helpful for anybody. Of course, the bottoms of the feet, all the areas of the feet, but across the balls of the feet too. So yeah. So I think Chrissy is going to do a little demonstration for us here at the end of our class. Right, Christy? Christy? Wait.
She's muted. No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
You're okay.
Oh, there we go.
You can see me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. I can
Oh,
see.
there she is.
I tried the RC on my tongue.
You did? Ugh,
A little,
yeah.
Special. That was.
It
It's a
didn't
little
taste-
different.
So I love the Aromalux,
Yep.
Yes.
my favorite, because you don't use water.
Right.
So I
What do
like,
you use?
You just
well, so
put the bottle.
I'll show you. You just put the bottle right on here. So
Oh,
then you just set it right in here. And so you're getting the molecules.
Just the straight oils. Yep.
And you can adjust it by how much you want to have it output and for how long, and then how many intervals. So I think the suggestion, what I've always used was, I think I use it 3 minutes on, and then it's about 3 minutes off or 5 minutes off. And then I either switch out the oil or whatever it is I'm doing. But for this purpose, it's what we did at your house, Kathleen,
Yeah.
making up a little respiratory care. So it's just 5 or 10 drops of each one equally. So I'm using thieves. So thieves, because everyone loves thieves.
yeah.
And pine and Northern Lights Black Spruce. So is it the Northern Lights Black Spruce is the one that has the weight of the molecules drive things a little deeper in the lungs?
Yes, the spruce oils. Exactly.
Spruce. So that's
So
Northern
on their own,
Black.
they don't go, some of the eucalyptuses and stuff don't go deep into the lungs, but with spruce,
Mhm.
it carries them in.
Yeah. So I'm just using an empty bottle and I'm just putting 5 drops of each one of those 4 So eucalyptus radiata, thieves, northern lights, black spruce, and pine. And then I put it in here. And then I use it in the aroma dome. So I stick it on the end of the tube, and then I stick this other end into the Aromalux. And so
Can you
I
see the
use
Aromalux?
this. So here's the Aromalux. So I set it, and then
Oh,
here's my aroma dome. So it goes in. So this part on the tube goes inside the aroma dome, and it goes up high. So you lay in there
Oh.
to the tent, and it goes up high, and then it filters down on you. So the molecules are dropping. So you can breathe in through your nose or breathe in through your mouth. Now I've used this particular blend a few times with the family. So Jason actually likes hanging out in the aroma dome with a little blend or two. And then I did this with Noah. I've done it with the girls. And literally 5 minutes after they're out of the aroma dome, I think I did 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 3 minutes on. I think I did it 3 rounds. And within 5 or 10 minutes, they were running their nose, everything was running. And they almost didn't like it. They were like, why is my nose running? I'm like, well, that's good. You want to get everything out. So it really did help to sort of open things up and help them to be able to at least start draining.
yeah.
Is how it worked for us. So, but this here, not now. So this here, I actually will put something like brain power in here, or what else have I used in here?
So you can go to a Romalux, or you can Google Romalux and find where to buy one of these.
Actually, I think we still
have them.
this,
Oh,
but
we have the Aromalux, but the Aroma Dome,
we
you
don't
have
sell
to.
the dome.
We
Yeah,
don't
so
sell the dome.
it's just aromadome.com, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sometimes I'll keep this on the counter and just put like brain power in here or something, and I'll just stand there next to the counter and just sort of breathe it in for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I like that it's concentrated. That makes me happy. That
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of
I
that.
will say, like, the protocols when you're cleaning up after mold, you want a dry diffuser with no water, like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's other ones, there's other companies that make them too, but that's the one that we have from Young Living.
Yeah.
I know Gia had something she wanted to share. Gia,
Yes.
what were you going to share with us with your big oil collection?
Well, it's the respiratory thing
Yeah,
that when people get it, you know how sometimes you would go to the store and buy a nasal thing to
Yeah.
breathe and help you breathe. I make my own now.
how do you make it?
I bought the nasal stuff and I can't remember where, but I bought and I got a whole bunch of them. Then I would put in peppermint or eucalyptus or mix it, mix things up and put in there. And let me tell you, it works really good. And I was thinking of the one what Christy made. You could probably make one like that.
So are you talking about those ones that have the felt on the inside and it's like a little
Yes.
nasal?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget what those are called, but yeah, I don't even know if
And
they
you would
sell
just-
those.
Isn't it like a nasal lavage?
Even just Amazon.
Yeah,
A vapor, it's like a nasal vapor thing.
right.
And it has
Yeah.
like a felt inside of it, and you just put the oils in the felt, and then you stick there's a cover over it. And so then it has a hole, and you just breathe it, and it's like stored for you, all ready to go.
Right. It is. So when you're going somewhere, I always have one with me. You know,
Yeah,
if
I want to say this company, there's companies that carry those where you can put your own
I know,
oils.
I can't remember what company I got.
You know,
I
it
know
from.
Abundant Health has it. Abundant Health.
Yeah,
Street
Abundant
Food.
Health, Life Science Publishing, Amazon, you can
What are
buy.
they
Yeah.
called, Sienna?
I think it's just a nasal inhaler. I've
That's
done
what it is.
demonstrations
Yeah.
last two
Yeah,
weeks
nasal
on
inhaler.
the line.
But you just showed us one last night, Sienna.
I did. I can go get it right now and show
Go
you.
get it. Go get it.
While
Around.
Sienna's going, one of Tina and my holistic doctors, if you want to take it to the next level in terms of again the things we've been dealing with for the past 2 years is
Jeez. What is
remember
it?
Tina?
I can't see what you're showing.
Okay, I'll do the from behind here, right? Yep, and then I'll go closer so you can see the packaging. Remember, it's the X Lear from Dr. Suri.
Oh, did you
Syrup?
put oil? Did you put oils in there?
Yes, and then she recommends that we put our oils in it.
Oh,
So-
that's cool. X Clear. That had a lot of people are saying that's an amazing, and it does. It shoots up into your
Yes.
nasal passages.
And
It's
you
about
know,
$15 at the Walgreens or whatever.
right. And you know, when they are doing their best to not allow for you to buy this, that you should go and buy more. Because there's
Thank
a
you for your
reason
rebel.
why they're telling
Thank
us.
you for your rebel, Laura.
Okay.
There it is.
I have a white one.
Anytime.
It's
Okay.
got a little hole.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
And
there
then-
you go.
You just stick it in, and I got to the point I could do it with one hand,
Look at that. Ooh,
'Cause you're
left
driving?
nostril, right nostril.
Because
How
you're
does
always
it hold
driving.
the oils? How does it hold the oils, Sienna?
Cotton.
Oh, yeah, take the shroud off of
Oh, I always get it stuck. I don't know if I can get it off.
Sandy, I would put
just-
those.
Breaking the
I would put
fingernail.
those in a lot of my purple bags, Sandy, when I would give away the little purple bags for all those years with the little, there's a little cotton stick, and then you stick the cotton stick in the base, and then you put the top on.
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah, it's cotton or felt or something like that.
No,
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
but it's
It's like a condensed cotton.
So
Yeah.
I would like to
It
add
will last a
two
long time.
things.
Okay, Sandy.
At the very beginning, I didn't realize you couldn't see us, Tina. I was raising my hand.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know
No,
what's
no, that's
happening,
okay.
but I can't see you.
On the frankincense breathing you had us do at the beginning. I do that now. It's dark back there. I don't have my overhead light on, but I'm still teaching my yoga on Zoom. My people are happy that way. And but I ground at the beginning of every class with the frankincense, doing those cleansing breaths in through the nose, out the mouth. And you know what's kind of cool about the Zoom is you can be running around your house last minute before you get to class, right? You still have to ground. You still have to ground. And so, and I'm grounding myself and grounding my people using the frankincense, and it just immediately brings me down. And the thing that I'm reminded of, what you were talking about, is taking those deep breaths. And I try to communicate this information to everybody. Any kind of pranayama practice usually encourages you to use your lungs in a deeper, more conscious way. And whenever you practice that, even without the oils, after, when you're breathing naturally again, your lungs are typically breathing in it naturally in a deeper way, getting more oxygen. So the oils just remind us to take that deep breaths to get us started in that direction. So that's very important. Do it multiple times throughout the day. And the other thing, I'm reminded that Laura, like 2 years ago, was advocating that we all use the Neti Pot, and she was showing us on some little thing online.
Yes.
And I have my Neti Pot, of course, and I use it off and on. But then when this thing came up inside my household, that was one of the first things I did. Was I got my Neti Pot, my Neti Salt, and I did the toothpick method with the thieves. Of course, you could do the eucalyptus, whatever. The toothpick in the Neti Pot, a little stir to help keep everything clean and open. So that's
Nice.
another good way to support all of that. So
That is
thank-
absolutely one of my favorite things to do. And I've gotten sloppy, but I was doing that on a regular basis for pretty much all of 2020.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Well,
I like the one that is at Walmart it's plastic, which is
The
not great,
squirting one.
because you can push it through.
The
Right.
nephroche.
So I'm not a professional on that, but I have two ideas on that. The one that you just squirt, the plastic one, of course, we know it's not always so good to put our oils in the plastic, but if you're just putting a toothpick, maybe it's fine. I don't know. The squirt, the advantage to that is, first of all, a lot of people are not into the neti, and it makes it easy. And it is going to
Yeah.
just kind of shove it right up there fast. Okay. The Neti Pot, the traditional Neti Pot where you tilt and
Yeah.
pour, it's more gentle going
Right.
through. It's not shoving it up there, but I think it's a different kind of cleansing action that happens with that. So, try both, whatever
It's
works.
sort of like sitting with your cup of tea and it's a
Well,
process.
it's not quite like that, but
Well, it is soothing though.
but
The Neti Pot
it's
is
a gentle flow. It's a gentle flow. As
Well,
opposed
you don't
to
have
the
my
drug,
sinuses.
shove it up
There's
there.
not a gentle flow in my sinuses. There's a block.
Well, yeah, and if you're clogged up, it won't go through. I know. Yeah.
And then girls, remember also to take it to that whole next level, Sandy, especially if Tim needs extra
X clear.
read all about it support. It's actually the nebulizer, and you want it to be a tabletop jet nebulizer. And reach out to me if you need, because that's also a lot more difficult to find online nowadays too. I wonder why. So, but that's where you put the cannula on your nose and your mouth. So it's literally like taking the Neti Pot, but taking the Neti Pot to the next level of 15 minutes, literally, in your nose, through your throat to your lungs. And you put the oils in it, or you don't, just depending, there is plastic tubing. So whether you decide to or not. And then that there's also extras that you do. So the
We
hydrogen
can do a
peroxide.
whole other private class on that.
Yeah.
But this recording, let's
Yep.
kind of
Thanks.
I know.
move it back to center here.
I like
Yep.
the aroma dome. We had a friends here. I don't have it now, but their aroma dome is awesome for
Yeah.
just
Hey,
For
not
sure.
eucalyptus is killer in there.
Christy,
For sure.
didn't you have a testimonial the first time you did the aroma dome?
You're muted, Christy.
You're muted, yeah.
Sandy, I love your hair still. I'm going to love that cut forever.
It's so
Time for
cute.
trim. Thanks.
My dog's barking, so no one wants to hear that. Are you talking about the first time I used it for respiratory health?
Yeah, there was something that changed in you that you
So,
should.
yeah, so one thing so I did get sick and I couldn't smell for a while. So
Like a long time.
like a long time. It was probably chronic for like 5 months, which for an oily person is torture. Because I'm like, please,
Yeah.
please. So finally, most of it came back, but we had the respiratory class at Kathleen's house and we did the aroma dome with the mixture I just made. And so Tina's like, did it go into, did you feel like, where did it go? And I was like, right there. And she was like, we're doing a respiratory for the lungs. Like, why did it go here? That's where my body wanted it, I think.
Yeah.
And when I got home, I smelled Stress Away. I remember I smelled Stress Away and I smelled every single note in Stress Away. And I was like, wait, what? I can pull out each one. And then I smelled rose and I was like, why does it smell so much more fragrant? So for whatever reason, these oils went to that place and I was able to helped me to recover some of my sniffer.
Smell.
With some superhero
Steve
powers now.
It's a
Superhero
superpower.
powers.
Okay,
Chrissy,
well,
was
I
that
think
the
we're.
thieves, pine, northern black spruce, and eucalyptus mix?
Yes. And I
Okay,
think we added a little copaiba to that, didn't we? We added a couple drops of that as well, which
My
I'm a fan
mom,
of.
I can't remember.
Well, she
that's
used like
5 to
copaiba empty bottles. So there's probably a little bit like less in it.
Yeah.
And that's 5 to 10 drops each.
Each, yeah, equal, right? We did equal.
It was equal.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well, we are so happy to be sharing these, what do we call them? Wisdom Wednesdays. So feel free to let your friends know about our Wisdom Wednesdays. And we're going to keep, if you have any suggestions about things you want to cover, you guys want to come on and give us input, it makes it really fun because then we, can share what we're all doing. And I think people can learn from that. We can share the recording of this class as well. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for coming. Thank you, Chris.